And you're welcome back to the Pulse. Ukraine's successful counteroffensive over the past week has brought the war in Ukraine into very sharp focus. Once again, a huge element of Ukraine's capacity to push back Russia is weapons deliveries from Europe and elsewhere. So let's cross over now to Berlin and speak to Sullivan, who's with our partners, Deutsche Welle, getting us the latest on this. Sullivan, have the recent Ukrainian successes led to calls within Germany for more weapons to be delivered to that country?
Yes, Ukraine's success in its counteroffensive over the last week in pushing Russia back a significant way within its own territory has proven to a lot of the Western powers just how successful Ukraine can be in the fight against Russia. And naturally, Ukraine has consistently asked for more weapons throughout this war and said if it gets what it asks for, it can be even more successful. So that has led to significant debate within Germany, because Germany, a lot of the pressure around this question has focused on Germany, given that it's Europe's largest economy, it's its biggest country, and it also produces a lot of these weapons. So that debate is ongoing at the moment within the German government and within German society in general. Germany has already provided a significant amount of support, but there are certain reservations within the country around the extent to which it leads on this issue and the absolute extent to which it will support Ukraine. But the debate is increasing, and we've seen even in the last few days the Ukrainian foreign minister has directly called out Berlin and called out Germany, asking for the country to provide heavier weapons, specifically tanks. And the nature of that request has ratcheted up the pressure on Germany in this regard.
And this is why I want to ask about approximately how much Germany and Europe in general has given to Ukraine in terms of military aid since the war began.
Well, Europe in general has given several billions when we combine various countries and the EU institutions, although by far the biggest donor to Ukraine in terms of military aid by a long, long way is the US. Germany has given between 1.2 billion and 1.5 billion euros between pledges and what it's already given to Ukraine. Now, a lot of those weapons and that military support were defensive systems at the start, although the demands from Ukraine were consistently for more offensive weapons, and slowly Germany did begin to provide those, although on this question that I referenced earlier regarding the tanks, there is that reluctance from Germany to provide this kind of support, specifically because no countries as of yet have given Western-made tanks to Ukraine, and Germany is reluctant to lead on that specific issue.
And it's not as though this has just been a free time for the leaders, because there's significant opposition in Germany itself within the whole country when it comes to these arms delivery. Why is that happening? And what about the rest of Europe as well?
Yeah, this is quite a complex question, and to really understand it, we have to look at the history of German foreign policy since World War II. Germany, obviously, as the aggressor, as Nazi Germany during World War II, and the atrocities that it committed, many of them indeed in Russia, it has greatly complicated ever since Germany's foreign policy, and it has always shown a great reluctance to spend a lot or to lead a lot when it comes to military issues. You also have the question of Germany's own historic relationship with Russia. East Germany was a client state of the Soviet Union. Germany developed a very close relationship with Russia in terms of its energy policy, importing a lot of gas and oil through what was known as the Ostpolitik, or Eastern policy. So Germany has not always easily been the leader on these kind of issues. And when it comes to issues around defence and military security in Europe, Germany has certainly never been the leader. And that's where a lot of the opposition stems from. A lot of people in German society feel Germany should not take on that role because of its history. At the flip side, though, people say the world has changed. The post-World War II order is over, and Germany, as the biggest country, the biggest economy, must show more leadership on this issue. And so that debate continues to rage. The German government has increasingly shown signs that it understands that. It has made pledges to change its position in the military. So that is what we're going to see probably in the next months and indeed years ahead.
And we'll keep on monitoring that space. Sullivan is with our partners, Deutsche Welle. And that's where we draw the curtains on the Pulse here on the JoyNews channel. We do have more content for you online. It's at my JoyOnline.com. I'm sure that you can get some updates from there. I'm Blessed Sukan. Next.